So once you set up like this, you should see your terminal, right? What has happened for my case is actually I have enabled the desktop environment. So that's why it came to interface like this. But the server environment, this is not the default, right? So ideally what we need is some command line interface. If it is usually, okay, let me check whether I can go back. Okay, should switch to command line, but let me check. Okay, the problem would be like my password. Right now, what has happened in my case, I have desktop enabled. That's the case why we got this. So in that case, I have to use terminal to run the commands. But ideally, in your case, it's not the case. So I think Supersun talks to you about command line and also creating some files, copying files, basically some modifications that you can actually do, creating files and so on, right? So what my plan for this session is use of a set of other tools which we can actually use for learning. First of all, have you talked about, okay, I missed actually last part of Subsan session. Have you talked about the VI editor? I have seen you have used Nano, for example, creating files. Have you used VI?
No, doctor.
Okay, so creating small files, um, Nano is useful, very small, create small files. But now, remember now we are about to working with the server, setting up the servers, editing some log files. We need to understand, get used of a better editor. So VI is one of the best ones to start working with this. Similar to Nano, you can start with the files. I know that now you know how to list files. When you say ls, basically it lists all the files in
Excuse me,
your.
doctor.
Sorry.
Doctor, your screen is shares only VM virtual box. We can't really
Okay.
see.
Sorry. Yes, true. Sorry about that. Okay. Hope it's better now.
Yes. Yeah. Now we can see.
The only problem, let me see, I can make it much more better. Can you see my commands? Is it readable?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, thank you.
Now we can see the terminal.
Okay. Can you see my ls command and the files inside my home directory?
Now cursor is blinking near the Shine.
Okay, yeah. So let me clear out. Let me type ls. You should see my files inside this. Let's say vi, let's say test file dot, let's say txt, right? So like Nano, we create a file for editing. If the file is existing, we are going to open it. So that's what will happen. And when you press enter, you should see something like this, right? Can you try it out in your machines and see whether you are success? How many of you have get up to this point? So let me go back and tell you like what I did. Right. The command is vi and whatever the file name. If the file is not existing, it will create. Now, right now, I'm trying to create a text file called test. Can you try it out? And you should see something like this, some editor with a blinking cursor. Those who have finished up to this point, can you please raise your hand so that I can continue my discussion? Okay, at least we have, or keep on raising your hand so that I know that you have finished. Okay, we have one at least. Simply the command is vi space. Just type a file name in your command line. What happens is we are going to use vi editor, or we call vim editor, right? And then if the file is not there, it will create a new file. If the file is already existing, it will open for editing. Okay, so now the next thing that you need to remember is in VI mode, there are two modes. The first one we call command mode, where we can type commands, right? So the right now, when you just enter the VI command, we'll come to command mode, which means it's wait for our command. So the right now if you try to type anything, it will not type unless you type some basic, command that is already available. Otherwise, it won't type anything at all. So this is called command mode. Right now, I'm in the command mode. So, for example, if you want to quit from VI editor, just type colon and Q. So I will type colon. I'm inside colon. When you say colon, you can see the cursor will go down. Your left-hand side down, you will see colon. Now type Q. So this is just quitting VI. Actually, although we have open up a file, we have not created a file. You can see if you just type ls, there's no file created because we have not entered anything at all. It's not like, touch, right? Again, I'm going to type vi test.txt. I hope now it is for you to clear. This is how we open up vi. Now we have, let's say I want to type something. You have to press I. If you press I in the keyboard, this will switch to what we call the insert mode. So when I press I, it will switch to insert mode, and you can see in the down left-hand side, you will see insert mode. It says insert, right? Now I can type anything. So let me type my name. And my department detail, just to show you like how this is working. Right. So I type my address with the insert mode. Now still I'm in the insert mode. Now to save this, right, whatever you have typed, you can press escape again. It will go to the command mode. Press colon. You will see colon, type W. The W is to save any changes we made. But we are in here. But now you can see a test file, new 5 lines. And then we have written 1115 bytes written. So that information you can see. Now we are back in the command mode. If you try using if you try arrow keys, it will not, you can not see if you are not in the insert mode, right? Nothing will work it out. So remember, if you want to go here and there in the text file, you have to go back to insert mode. So let me type I again. It will go back to insert mode. Now you can use arrow keys to go wherever you want. So there are a few keys you can use other than arrow keys. For example, we can use H to go left. Sorry. So in the command line mode, you can see, you can go to H. In the command mode also, you can go to save. So now I'm using arrow keys. But in the command mode, if you use H, J, K, L, H go for left, H, K for down, K for up, and then L for right. So these are known as navigation. You can go here and there. Let's say you are in the middle of the file. If you go over to beginning of the file, you have to type GG. If you type G twice like this, GG, it'll go the first line. If you press capital G, it'll go to the end line. So that is navigation. Right. Those who have finished up to this point, can you please raise your hands? I'll stop the recording for the time being. Recording. So let's say you want to save and quit. You can say WQ. Type both colon W and Q. Again, you will get a handout with all these commands. So if you say WQ, it'll do the two things. You will save it and quit it, right? So you save whatever things you have insert and then quit. And have you learned the cat command as well? So if you want to just see what is inside, you can say cat.test.text, which you will get what is inside the test file. Another way that you can view what is inside. Give me a second, I will share the slide again. But make sure that you now comfortable with the VI. Try with couple of other files. Insert something, save. At least do this for another file and see. Right. Have you finished up to this point? Shall we continue? Okay, let me share my server. So I'm trying to create some other file. This time I'm trying to copy paste from a window. Let me see whether it works. So the file I'm going to create called VI sonnets. And then let me press I to go to insert mode. Right. I'm sharing some text you to type it here. So let's type this text in this text file. So let me start typing. So I have finished typing. I'm going to save and quit WQ. So let me just list. I have two text file. I can have a detailed list ls with the switch L. You can see I have sonnets file, which is the size of around 530 bytes. Test, we have about 115 bytes. Okay. Okay. Resetting a password. There's a question on resetting the password in Ubuntu server. Well, this is one of the issues even for myself, which I'm facing, because the main thing is when you're working with the servers, you have to be very careful.
Not audible, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry about that. The resetting password in any servers, it's a bit difficult. There are ways that you can do. Um, how do you do that? Most of the time, we can go back to command line and then try to resetting it. But if you look at or search in Google, there are ways that you can actually use to reset. Few options are there, like if you have a dual booting system like a Grub, you can do that. But I mean, we have not done. We have done it in a virtual machine. So I have not tried this. One way to try is some cases when you boot up root user, you can have a without a password. So if you have that in your case, you can do that. But if you have a password, then that also be a problem, right? So easiest way forward for right now, maybe in your case, would be again reinstalling, which might not, you have to spend another 20, 30 years to install the virtual box. Other than that, then you can delete the previous one. That's the easiest way. But there are ways that you can try out. I don't think in a virtual box environment, whether we have any other ways except if we didn't set up the root password. But I think one thing we are doing with the Ubuntu server environment, we will provide a root password in the very beginning. So you need to remember that. So that's where the problem comes in. So in your case, my suggestion would be maybe you try to reinstall and make sure that this time you keep it in you keep the password in the safe place.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's the idea, because if somebody can reset it, it can be manipulated. So server environment, they not normally allow this. Even you might see next is, I think we have not discussed that part yet. We will not directly use a root password where we have acquire super user status, which I will discuss in coming session. Right. How many of you have finished creating the second file as well? Because the second file, I want to introduce some other tools. That's the reason why I want you to, try that out. So as you can already see, there are many small Linux tools are available for us to do many things. many things when we work with the file, and we should be familiar before we going to go with the work with the text files, because as an administrator you need to make use of these tools, right? So that's what my plan next. But before that, let me finish a brief discussion of the VI. So right now, I think you are comfortable with creating a file, going from command mode to insert mode, type something, and then quitting. So let me open my first file again, but this time I'm going to discard any changes. So for example, if we say the test file that we have created in the beginning, right? So let me say I go here and let me insert, and then let me put Sri Lanka. But remember, I'm not going to save this. Let's say I have done editing, but I'm not happy with this edit. Let's say I want to go back, meaning like I want to go back to the without saving this, and I will also want to quit this. So if you want to quit without saving, right? So you can press escape to go to command mode and type Q and type exclamation mark, meaning that, okay, you will force Linux to quit from this, which will go back to your command line. But this time, if you look at it, it is actually not saved. Yes. So this is if you want to force quit without saving. Have you understood up to this point? Some interaction I expect from you, because I can't see whether you are doing this. Practical environment, I could have been with you. So only way out from here is you share like your issues from your end, also confirming that you finish up to this point. Right, now what we did so far, we created a file, we list the file, we changed the file, we saved it, we quit without saving. Right, let's quit with saving, right? So the last one. So I will say test, but this time I'm going to make it insert, and then I will put Sri Lanka. But this time, let me leave and save. So what you type is X. So X indicate that, okay, you save and you quit. So that's what you need to remember. I hope this will be enough for you to, working with. So when you say X, it'll save and it'll quit. Now, if you get cat, you can see the Sri Lanka is added, right? Make a note of this, but you will get a slide which contains all the commands that we have discussed in this. So I think now I discuss about how to open VI, different modes, basic navigation, editing. Okay, editing, I have not done everything, but saving and existing, I have done it. Right. Now, next, I want to move to editing, but before that, you have to confirm whether you have finished. Right. Shall we move to the next one? Okay, thanks. Some of you actually, letting me know that you have finished it. Well, at least I know a few of you are on par with what I'm discussing. Okay, so maybe I can talk about a little bit about editing. Right, now let me open up my file again, my first file, that is vi test.txt. So I'm here. Let's say I want to remove some characters. Let's say I don't want to, type my title, doctorate. So let me remove it. So removing in Linux is easy. Just type, in VI, just press X will delete one character at a time. So I can delete first few lines like this. You go to wherever, if you want to delete a character, just press X in the command mode. Right. Second one, let's say you want to delete a complete line. Let's say I don't need Sri Lanka. Type simple DD. We'll delete whole line. So it's very quick. And when you are good at touch typing, so this way you can quickly edit your files. So X to delete one character at a time. DD to delete a line at a time. Right. Now, similar to that, let's copy this. Let's say I want copy, right? Only the first line. So the command is just press YY. Okay, press YY and go to wherever you want to paste. Just press P. You can see that line is added. Now let's go to the second line. Type 4PP. Sorry, I made a mistake. I will say quit. Okay. Edit anyway. We'll do like that. Okay. So the first one I did XX. Small mistake I made. X will be deleting one character at a time. DD will delete the whole line. The next one, what I did, the copying entire line, right? Copy paste. So copying entire line, we are going to use YY. So YY will copy entire line and press P. Press escape again. See whether you have done up to this point. So I removed some of the characters. I remove whole line. I copied one line, pasted at the end of the line. Okay, so I will give you some time you to work on this. When you finish, let me know by raising your hands. Right now, we are in the command line mode. And let's say I'm going down. Let's say from here, I want to copy 3 lines. So I will type 3YY. You can see 3 lines here in the down. And after some path, I will just type P, which will print 3 lines. So you can decide how many lines you want to, copy and paste. So this is actually copy pasting. But YY only copy one line. But when you say a number and YY, it will copy that amount of numbers. So what I typed is 3YY, which will copy 3 lines. And we said paste. So let me put Peradeniya now. Again, I will press YY. Let me put P, which now I have repeated my address 2 times. So similar to that, let me count how many lines. We have 5 lines. If you say 5YY, it will copy 5 lines. If I press P, okay, now you can see I have, 3 repetitions of my address. Okay, if you understood that concept, why don't you raise your hand so that you are comfortable up to this point? This format could be followed for DD as well. If you remember the DD, let me show you. If you type here right now, my cursor is in the line of Department of Computing Engineering. If I press DD, it will delete the first line. Let's say I want to remove Faculty of Engineering and University of Peradeniya. I have to press 2DD. You can see these keyboard shortcuts, especially the shortcuts available for VI is very useful. And those who get used to it, they fond of using these shortcuts in the VI or Vim editor. Now, let's say this is, I have done it mistakenly, right? So then the other way is, right, how to undo. So just type U. Let's say the deletion is a mistake. Simply type U, undo, right? So which will get back to where we were earlier. If you want to redo, press Ctrl and R. U, undo, Ctrl and R is redo. Make a note of this. That will come with the note as well. Okay, have you finished up to this point? Can you go back to the next part? That is how to search stuff in a file. So in this particular case, you can notice here, I'm in the top, and I told you how to go to top as well, right? If you press GG, it will go to the top line. If you press capital G, it go to the last line. So I press GG from where you are, it will go for the line. Now let's say I want to do some searching a particular term in a file. In the mode, you can use slash. This is searching. If you press slash and you can go down and you can see cursor is there. Let's say I'm trying to find my name. Let me say Sampath. You can notice it shows you where my name is, right? This is called forward search. It goes to the next line. And if you press N, keep on going on searching that particular word. So if you want to search forwarding, you type slash and you type a particular word. In my case, I put slash Sampath. And if you press N in the keyboard, it will go to the next word. Similar to that, another one, it's slash Digal. It will select the line, press N. Digal and press enter. It will show you the first iteration. Then press N. Second iteration, press N. Third iteration. So simply, this is how the searching happens in VI. Same thing can be done in other direction. You use a question mark. If you press question mark and if you degal, it starts from backwards. You can see it select the last degal in my file. And when you press enter and go to N, next will go in backwards. So make a note of this. So if you want to search something, you can use slash in the forward direction. Question mark, it goes into back direction. So then you can use together with N. Okay, again, try this out in your file. Now let's see how we can actually search and replace something when you have a file like this. So let's say instead of Sampath, I want to replace with initials. So I'm going to, let's say, going to replace some words in my file. So I will press GG, go to the top line. And then let's say I'm going to replace something. So the command is I will type colon and S slash whatever the word I want to replace. So let's say I want to replace Sampath. You can see the Sampath is highlighted. Then I will type my new text as DS slash, and then I will type G. So G means we will replace this for the entire line. So the command is colon S, and the old text and a new text. Old text means Sampath. I want to replace my initials and G, which should replace for the entire first line. You can see the line is replaced with DS. Now let's say I have two other iterations. If I want to do this globally, right? Instead of G, I should type GC. So the same command, I will say Sampath. I will type it DS GC. If I put GC, it's replaced interactively, which means go to the entire file. Sorry. Okay, maybe. Oh, this is something. Okay, it's Sampath slash d.s slash gc. It'll go interactively. Whether you are going to replace with ds, I will pray yes. Right? So let's say I want to undo this, and then I'm going to do it once for the whole file. So the command is you have colon. Now to say the entire file, I will use percentage mark s slash sampath slash, then whatever I want to replace slash g. If you say g, it'll completely once replace for all the instances in the file. Let me repeat one more time. I'm going to undo this. So we put colon, percentage mark, s slash, old text is Sampath, new text is ds slash g. We'll do once for the whole file. And it shows you like how many substitution it has done. So at the end, you can see 3 substitution on 3 lines. Done? So I think this, I mean, there are many others that you can actually work on. But I think these basic ones are enough for you to work with the VI. At least you also now familiar with basic commands available in VI. There are many advanced commands, and even you can have a colors enable for example, in coding, let's say Python. So that part I'm not going to talk about, but if you have time and if you're interested, maybe we can have a separate session for that. Right. Several more commands I would like to discuss with you. So the plan is I will stop for today at 1 o'clock, and then we are not going to continue. We'll continue with the next week. But I want you to try. Those who have in difficulty, I want to make sure that you complete this part and come comfortably. So you need a little bit more practice until you familiar with the syntax of these commands. Right. Now, having said that, let me show you a little bit of advanced or these are shorter commands available. So for example, let's say if we want to know more details about the particular command, usually we try out with, let me leave this WQ, we'll leave CLER to clear the screen. Now I'm getting back. So if you want to get help, you can man and try VI, which will give you the help of VI command. So this is called command manual. For any of the command that you want to know, you can type man and whatever the command that you want to know. So it will be a comprehensive one. So if you want to come out, you just type Q. So man, let me see whether in this system, whether I have everything installed perfectly. I want to try out grep. Grep is there. E-grep also there, right? Okay. Let me say man set. Okay, man tr. Okay, man. Okay, egrep set man oak. Okay, that is oak also there. I think I'm just checking out the commands that I am actually going to discuss with you. So to start with, let me talk about manipulating content of text files. Again, very important when it comes to work with the files as administrator. So I'm going to talk about something. So there are a few ways you can use grep or egrep when you want to search pattern. Now, we already use some switch S to search something in a file like this, but this is very powerful. egrep will support what we call the regular expressions, which is usually you can represent anything with depend on what content you are going to search here. Some pattern, it's used in any other programming language as well. So when you want to run egrep, we'll start with egrep first. If you want to search some particular string in a file, you can use that. So for example, if you want to say star in a Sonnet file, if you go back my code, or if you go back to this, so I will say cat sonnets. You can see there are star. Let's say I want to search star in this file. So the command is egrep. Star is the file word that I'm actually looking and the file name. So when you press this command, you will see now the word star is highlighted. This is very useful sometimes when you want to search some, let's say, configuration in a file, right? In quickly where this is listed in any file, you can use egrep and whatever the word that you are trying to search and in the file name. But remember, this is not perfect. It's not just selecting star. Any word which contains star can be selected. So for example, there's a word bastard or stars is also selected because the word, the 4 letters are there, right? So now let's say you are interested in, right, only the matching ones. So for that, you can use switches. I think you have learned in all the commands that we will learn in Linux commands, you can have switches. For example, if you say ls, it will list the file. But if you say ls minus l, which is a switch, will have a long representation. Similar to that, if you use egrep with w switch, force you to show me only full word matches, right? So let me show you. If you go back to the same file, but this time I will put w, egrep minus w star. This is a switch w, which will force to show us lines which contains only, you will have only 3, right? Let me clear it down and let me write the command again. It will give us only exactly 3 lines where exact match on the word star, which is very helpful whenever you use something and if you want to find out where it is. Any questions? Shall we move to the next one? Right. Now let's show you another interesting command line, which we call TR, right? So what happens with the TR, we can replace, text replace, sometimes we call, or it says translates. Both words are used, translates, TR, which means we can change characters to something else, right? So this is useful when you want to see what is inside the file. So let me show you an example where this is a text file, right? Sonnet is a text file, and I'm going to show you how we can make use of with TR. So I will say TR, I'll put some space. Each space I'm going to put it to new line character. If this is not working, we'll try something else. Okay, TR. Let me put 0, 1, 2. Okay, let me change the syntax a bit. I'm going to put it like this. Oh, okay. So it should be other way around. Let's put cat first. Cat sonnets. Okay, so that will be listed. And I will use a pipeline. Have you learned pipeline earlier? Okay. Okay, I hope you understand this one. This is one command. So when you use a pipeline character, what happens? The output will be put into the other command. So now what happens? We cat sonnet, meaning like the content of the file is, I'm going to forward to TR, which translate all the spaces into new line characters. N is a new line. So what happens? You will get a list of words. All spaces I put in the new line character. So therefore, what happens? It will translate all my spaces in the new line characters. See what happens? We start with not from stars, do I judgment pluck. So you can see it will convert all the lines, all the words, every word in a single line, which convert this to this. Now, if you're wondering what you can do this for this, sometimes we can identify what are the unique the values in a file by doing this and getting unique, and also sorting way we want to have, converting sometimes uppercase letters to lowercase. That also could be done very easily here. There are replacement characters. Since the time is past for today, I'm not going to discuss right now, but next week I can talk. You can find frequency list. You can identify what words are appeared frequently and so, right? So, so many things that we could do with these two lines. Okay, just to conclude my today's session, what we learned for today is basic unique commands, as well as that is in the morning session with Supersan, and evening I took the second session. I took you and introduce you some other tools together. VI editor, which is commonly used text editor by the administrators. So I hope that will helpful for you. I will share the notes with you so that you can go back. At the same time, I will share the recording with you so that those who have difficulty, you can try out. But from next week, we are going to take 8-hour sessions from 8 to 12 and 1 to 4. Sorry, 9 to 12, 6 hours, 9 to 12 and 1 to 4 sessions. Extensively, we discuss about the practical implementation of this. Make sure that you completely understand what we have done in the previous sessions before coming to the next session. Any questions you might have, I will stop the recording here.